Start recording. So good afternoon, everybody. So yesterday we learned about npm node package manager, what is semantic versioning, and how you can create package.json, how you can install package as soon as you save it to the package.json dependencies, what is dev dependency, how you can exclude dev dependency in production environment, right? And module, how your built-in module and npm packages such as their definition or package or module inside node underscore module. And we also started event emitter. We explain, we discuss about the system event and custom event, and specially we are focusing here on custom event. So we see how the event object or event class, we can import it, how we can instantiate it before using. Then we can use the function defined inside the events class, like on and emit. So on is called event listener and it is event emitter, emit method. These two methods has been defined inside the event class, right? So let's see something more about the event emitter. So how you can use event emitter default class and you can use in your custom class by inheriting this event emitter default module, right? So I know if you are not aware about the inheritance in JavaScript, then you can see any YouTube channel or YouTube video, or you can see it from article, any article from the Google. You can search it from there, you can learn it. So it is simple. If you want to, anybody want to say something? Hello? Okay. So now you can see I just import it or required it, the event model. Then I created one class called greetar and I extend it, means inherit all the methods and variables from event emitter, means event class. Event emitter means this is event class, built-in classes, right? Then I can use the emit method and on method, event listener and event emitter method, which is defined inside event in my custom class. Did you understand? And I can also create another file. I'm just creating it. Then I can import it in another file, this one, and I can use it over there as well. So let's see. So let me explain from code editor, Visual Studio Code. Okay. So the same example I given over there in document, you can see from here as well. So I have created a one class. Let's remove it for now. Okay. Then in every class there is a default method which is called constructor method, constructor function, which is called whenever class is instantiated. Whenever you create the instance of class using new method, then this function will automatically called. And this is another function I have created inside this greetar class. Then I can accessing greetings variable and some data which will be passed by passed whenever I'm calling this greet function. I'm passing some data and printing over here. But how we can getting this data? Now before calling, always I mentioned yesterday also, before I am writing the code for event listener, the emitter should emit first, emit at the bottom always. Event emitter should always call at the bottom. Then just above it, it should work. So here you can see I'm calling this function at the bottom, and this function is responsible for emitting this event and data, correct? So this is one class, then I'm instantiating it, create an instance which is called greeter using new keyword. Then I am listening this event, the greet event through on method. But before that, I am emitting it because at the bottom I am calling this function. So emitter is always at the bottom. So if I'm running this, so you can see good morning, then someone greeted CK. So I pass it CK over here, then it is someone greeted CK is called on method whenever I listening that this event. So here I'm passing it CK, and by default whenever this function is calling, then this message is displaying good morning, then data CK. But whenever I'm listening to the event, I can see it over here. For example, I want to call it in other file. For example, let's see, I'm exporting it from here, module.export. Like this. And for example, I want to import it inside this file, import field, the app.js. So I import inherits, event inherits, this file, this model. Then I just create an object from that class. Then same thing I am doing over here. So if I run not app.js, the same result I can get it, right? So it is very easy. Whenever you want to pass some methods from bottom up any program and you want to emit it and access throughout the application, you can do it easily. And in Angular also there is some guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can emit in Angular also there is one concept called broadcast and emit. I think you use both of them. Broadcast is always from the top to bottom and emit is always bottom to top. Here we are using emit, and we are listening through on method. Okay, so let's go to another file, another topics. Buffer. So in this section, we are going to learn buffer, stream, binary data, character set, character encoding, then typed array, file system, stream and pipe. Then of course, HTTP web server, which is default module of Node.js. So what is buffer? Buffer, we know most of the time we use this word for buffering. Video is buffering, right? First we buffer it, then we'll display it. So buffer is nothing but a temporary data storage. We can see here buffer is a temporary holding spot for data being moved from one place to another. Okay, so always it will store some amount of data, but it cannot store the heavy data or very heavy file, right? And always buffer stores data in binary format. That's why it is faster. And by default buffer size is 64 kilobytes, kb, kilobytes, right? So buffer is just like array and other methods which is written already in the JavaScript. You don't have to import any module or install any package, but you can use it directly like this. Just like creating array, you just how we are creating array, just new and capital A R or Y, right, in JavaScript, because you don't have to write any definition or you have to import any method over there. You just use it this function. By default, the definition is already inside the V8 engine, right? So just like this, we can create a buffer using new buffer, and I can pass some value to this, and it is encoding, character encoding. Okay, so I am encoding using UTF-8. There are other encoding also available, but I am using it this. So let's see the example in buffer so that I can understand better. So basically, what we understand is a temporary storage. Whenever you transfer data from one place to another place, in between buffer create a small chunk and send it to another place through socket and all the stuff I will learn later on. Let's go to package HTTP file system. So is there any doubt till date, till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's see, let's run buffer. So look at, have you ever seen something like this? Have you ever seen in the console? Whenever you're
Yes.
displaying something string inside buffer, then you can see some number like this, right? And it is right now it is displaying what are these numbers. I will explain later on. It is right now it is hexadecimal number whose base is 16, just like base 64, base 2, base 8, octal number, hexadecimal number, this decimal number. So it is hexadecimal number. So it will always store in the form of binary, but it will show you in the form of decimal, right? Then I can see, let's see all this stuff. Let's remove all this stuff from here and let's open it buffer. So look at it. I am just create a buffer and pass some value to here, and I am using encoding UTF-8 encoding. So I'm printing the buffer directly. Then I can see something like this buffer and some numbers. These are hexadecimal number, but in memory it is stored the binary number. But when I'm converting to string, the buffer to string, then I can see hello, UTF-8 encoding. It will convert it to encoded the string, convert it to string, then I can see hello. If I want to display as a JSON, then I can see something like this. And now here you can see some numbers, which is decimal number. So what are those numbers? I will explain later. And to print on some specific position number of specific position, then you can use buffer of 2. For example, buffer of 2, it is 108. It is displaying over here, right? You can also write something to buffer using buffer.write, like WO. I want to write something like WO. So hello, it will replace HE with WO. So you can see over here WOLLO, right? So these are some basic function using buffer. So buffer is most important whenever you are transferring data through a file from one place to another place, or reading file and writing to another file through a stream. So always inside the inside those stream file everywhere, the buffer works at the bottom line of the code, right? So let's see what is stream. So any doubts on buffer? Anybody has any question? No. And by
No,
the
sir.
way, buffer is now deprecated. I will show you over here. You can see here, buffer is now deprecating buffer methods. Right now it is typed array, which I will let you know just after it. What is it used for? So stream. So no, in as a Node.js developer, everybody is it volatile? Yes, it is volatile. Means if it is not there and power cut will be there, then it will be removed. Okay, so stream. Now it is most used concept in Node.js, especially streaming. Especially we are using streaming purpose. We are using Node for the streaming purpose most of the time. Video streaming, data streaming, heavy file streaming. In stream, what happened? It converted all the data to small chunk, which is called chunk or packet, we can say. Then it transfer from one end to another through socket connection. It is not web socket, huh? It is another socket, hardware socket connection. from receiver to, which is connect to receiver, sender to receiver, right? So stream, what is stream? Stream is a sequence of data available at a time. The piece of data that are combined in a whole. Stream means the small chunk of data. For example, we are transferring hello, right? So HELLO over here. Look at this in stream. They are transferring in separately and store somewhere else in buffer, then process and send to another place, right? So this is the stream. Stream means divided into small chunk and transfer it through and data transfer from one into another through stream. Stream is the medium, and also buffer inside it. Buffer is also work just like this. So inside stream, buffer is always there. Whenever reading file, transferring data through stream, buffer is always there. Buffer means this chunk will be stored for sometimes in buffer, then it's send for processing, and you can send it to another stream or file, or write another place also. Read from somewhere else and you can write it in somewhere else also, right? Means first look at this example. First hello comes and store in buffer, then it go for the process. Then when it leaves buffer is empty, at that time world is come and store in buffer, right? Then again send to process, or you can send it after processing, you can send it to another place. So it is very simple concept. Let's see an example so that you can understand. So before that, we should know the character encoding and character set, different kind of character set. So these are fundamental things. Again, I'm saying you can learn more and more about it, because those who are from engineering background, they are very well known about these things. Binary data. There are different type of data set available, like binary data, octal, hexadecimal, then base 64, base 32 data. So what is base over here? So whenever you say it is base 2, means it starts from 0 and end at 1. Base 2 means 0 to 1. Base decimal means base 10, like this. So it starts from 0 to 9, means less than 10. If it is a hexadecimal, then start from 0 to 15. Means how they are representing 15, means 9, after 9 it is A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So this is hexadecimal number. So always whatever data transfer from one place to another place, whether we are reading any file from one file, reading any file and writing to another file, then everywhere the data is transferred in the medium or in the socket or in the stream in the form of binary data. Also it's stored in the database in the memory as a binary data, not as a HELLO, right? So this is some normal calculation how if you are storing 5, then how it store like 0101. If anybody aware about digital electronics in engineering, he can understand very well. And decimal number always base 10, so 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 1, here 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, and it is summation of everything. It's a sum, it's 5. So it is 53, means 10 to the power 0 plus 10 to the power 1. So don't worry about it, because it is a very minor things for me, but maybe you don't understand, then it's fine. It is not a big deal, but you should know about it, that how character, what are the different type of data type available to store data, because we always use base 64, base 2, base 10, but we don't know what is this. Means base 64 means is starting from 2 to 50, sorry, base 61, 64 to the power 0, 64 to the power 1, like this. Okay, and what is bit, byte, you know about it, right? So these all character in the binary is 1 bit. This binary data is 1 bit. So whenever any data, whether it is a number, whether it is a character, whether it is a heavy file, everything, so everything is stored in the form of binary. So how they are converting, I'll let you know here. So character set. So everybody know about ASCII and Unicode, right? What is ASCII? Means ASCII is nothing but a standard, but they are giving some value to each and every character. Especially ASCII is referring to the all the character which is inside your keyboard most of the time, right? For example, A B C D E F G H I J, capital A B C D E 1 to 9, 1 to 0 to 9, and all these special character like caret, minus, plus, equal to, all this for all this character there is a number. Always there is a number. For example, H, small h, the ASCII character value is 104, but when it is stored in the database it will store like this, binary. So if you convert this binary number to decimal, it will convert, it will 104. This conversion if you apply, then it is 104. Okay, so whenever somebody asks you that how data store in the memory in anywhere, means A B C D, so nobody understand any machine learning, as in machine language don't understand this language H E L L or nothing, but they understand this one, and up to some extent this one they can understand, which is machine learning, a machine language, the assembly level language, they can understand this, but the hardcore hardware can understand only this digital number. And 0 1 is binary number, and 0 1, all zeros and ones are considered as 1 bit. So it is 1 byte. 1 byte is 8 bit. Okay, so all character, all characters store in memory. To store any character in the memory, it will take 1 byte. And for number it is 2 bytes. For floating number, you know it, right? For every programming language you know it. For floating number it is 32 or 16 6 or 4 bytes, sorry, a 32-bit, right? So what is Unicode and ASCII then? So Unicode, there is no much number in ASCII, because ASCII is used for French or Spanish language or English, and the character which is this one special character which is in the keyboard. But if we are consider about other characters like Chinese, Japanese, so they have so many numbers, so many symbols, and because insert their languages as a symbolic format, if you see them, right? So for that we use Unicode, because Unicode has more character set. So here it is not like 0 to 500 or 600, it is something about it is not single, it is not 8-bit number or 1 byte number, it is more than that, 16-bit number to store or Chinese number. So that is what we use Unicode. So this is Unicode and ASCII, which is stored in the database. So always whenever transfer data from one place to another place in the buffer, always it is dealing with this number, this binary number. Always, you not physically don't understand, but I cannot show you, but always it is run in this way. And character encoding, what is here character encoding? So whenever you use UTF-8, then it is converted to this binary number. Always, that's why we use UTF-8. Other character encoding is also there, so you can use any one of them. So it is a bit difficult, guys, or it's very easy? Hello?
It's fine, sir.
You understand? Okay. So let's see typed array. What is typed array? So typed array means, as I said, the buffer is now deprecated in default Node language, in Node, right? This method has been deprecated. Right now it is deprecated. So in place of that, in new version of JavaScript, we are using typed array. Typed array is nothing but array buffer. Array buffer. I can show you an example. So what it does, now JavaScript typed array are like object that provide a mechanism to reading and writing raw binary data in memory and buffers. So whenever you reading and writing in the memory and store it, it is in the form of typed array. Means the normal object is in the form of typed array. Okay. In typed array, there are two types of JavaScript typed array. It's split into in implementation into buffers and view. The normal, we are talking about normal buffers, but right now buffers and view, how it is representing, I'll let you know. So a buffer is an object representing the chunk of data. As I mentioned earlier, it is whenever data transfer, then it is converted to some small chunk and store in buffer, then transfer it later it is transferred to another place. So what is the default size of buffer, guys?
64
64
64
K.
KB, kilobyte. If somebody asks, be aware, right? 64 kilobyte, but you can change it as well. And in order to
What is your
yeah,
what is your
I can't hear you.
mix or what is the maximum size we can use in buffer? Like is that fixed any small data or like minimum size we can use?
You can use whatever you want, but small chunk is always suggestible, because if you're seeing the YouTube video, right? If video size is 700 MB, for example, then you set the buffer size 700 MB, then there is no meaning of buffer or stream over there, right? Then what happen? Everything will be first downloaded to buffer, then it will start playing. So you better understand that what you should do, whether buffer size should be 600 700 MB or buffer size should be 64 KB or less than that. What do you think, Jignesh? What should be the
use small buffer time, like
exactly, so that it will divide it into small chunk and transfer it gradually. And what is whenever is this small chunk is called packet. If you know about the data transmission in network layer, in a network theory, or what is a network, the subject I don't remember. Did you know the multiplexer, demultiplexer are there to convert the packet? Means each packet is a individual data. It is not a break data. It is a complete data. You can manipulate or process that. That's why if video is very small thing, video the part is very small. Sorry. That's why if video size is very small, but still it is playing over there. To understand? In YouTube.
yes.
So buffer size always should be small, and it will start playing from, if it is a 1 MB data has been transferred, then it start playing over there. So always buffer size should be small. So by default, you should keep it at 64 KB. It is better for us, right? So array buffer is we can give the size to 16 bytes. Okay, and we can convert the views. So let me explain what's in. So what is buffer? You understand it. But in order to access the memory contained in a buffer, you need to use a view. In order to access memory, means buffer, in buffer the data is stored, but to access it you need view. Okay, so if it is a 16 byte and I am converting it to 8-bit array, then 8-bit means 1 byte, then it will convert it to 16 chunk. Do you understand? Look at it. So the array buffer size I mentioned over here, it is 16 byte, right? Then I am creating the buffer size to 8-bit, means this is bit unit, each unit is 8-bit, then it will convert it to 16-bit. 8-bit means 1 byte, then it is 16 byte, and each chunk is 1 byte, then it is created 16 chunk. Correct? Same if you convert it to 16-bit of buffer size, then it divided the 16-bit data to 8 chunk. If it is 32-bit, then it is 4. If you don't understand, let me know. If it is a 64, then it is 2. Means 16 byte, 64 bit. 16 byte means how many bits? 16 bytes is how many bits? Bhuneshwar?
64 bits.
128 bit.
128.
Right.
128.
Then I am converting it to 64 bit each chunk. Then it is 2 chunk. Each chunk is 64 bit. It is in byte. These are in bit. So let's see examples. You can understand. I think it is already there. Let's see. 5 stream typed array. So look at it. So I am create a array buffer of 8 byte. Array buffer size is always in byte, remember. And these are in bit. 8 bit means 1 byte. So what happened? It can allow me to create 8 chunk over here, 8 views. So I can read data from memory in buffer in 8 chunk. Remember, right? Then if I am writing like this, it is 16. Unit 16 array. These are methods, right? Remember, these are methods of new array buffer. You can see in Node.js tutorial as well. Array buffer you can write in Google. It will take you to that directly to this API. Unit 16 array. I can create a view of 16 bit size. Then 16 bit means 2 bytes, right? Then 8 is divided into 4. Now it is 8 chunk. You can see 8 views divided. Sorry, I have to save it. Now it is converted to 4. If I took it as a 32 bit, then it will show only 2 places, 2 chunk are available. So for example, I am assigning the value. So this is an array, right? View is an array. You can see over here. Okay. And now the array size is 2. If I am entering data over here, look at it. So I am console.log view. First it is showing 0 0 because right now it is nothing is assigned to, no value is assigned to that view. And after that I am assigning 2 value over here, 3 value for example, right? But the size is 32 means we can in one array buffer we can assign or store only 2 view, right? So I am assigning 3 view over here, but it is not showing the third one. Look at it. 2 and 3 is displaying over here, but fourth one is not displaying. If I am doing it 16 bit, then it is 1, 2, 3 and 4 is displaying, and another slot is empty. Another view is still empty. Clear? So you can see, learn more. I think I understand that it is a bit difficult to make you understand, and how you are grasping it is up to you. So how array buffer work, it's very difficult, but I think you can understand. This representation help you to make you understand, I think. But still you can go to internet, you can learn more about it, what is view and what is array buffer. Okay, array buffer is object which is mechanism to reading and writing to the binary, reading and writing raw binary data in the memory, in memory buffer. So using typed array you can dealing with binary data directly. Okay, and view is used to read data from binary data from the buffer. This is the objective. If somebody asks you a question about it, you can definitely answer this. This is my assumption. Then file system, inside file system also always internally it works in the same way. The array buffer and stream are inside it, it's working in the same manner. It is reading the file, but if you are using directly file, then it is not using chunk. You have to use stream for that. I will explain. tomorrow. Stream. And what is pipe? Means how you connect from one stream to another stream. So first see file, because most of the time we use with file, right? But we never use the stream, because Node.js power of Node.js is the stream, but we never use it most of the time. I don't know, maybe Node.js developer, those who are working for a long time in Node.js, they can use, they might be use it, but I don't know. But it is a power of Node.js actually, the array, buffer, stream, pipe, all this stuff. But we usually use file and fs file system, not other than that we don't know about it, about the array, buffer and stream, pipe, all the stuff. So let's see tomorrow. So right now it is 1 minute left. So if anybody has any question, you can ask me, otherwise you can ask tomorrow. I'll share this PDF with you. So I think today's session was a bit difficult for you guys. I don't know how clearly I tried to explain you very clearly, but I don't know how you accept it or grasp it. So, but again, you can learn more from internet about it, I think, or video. If there is any more graphical video is available, then you can maybe understand it. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.